Ka'alayim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders in Great Millstone who rule well, teach well with sincerity, honesty, and integrity. The brothers who's laboring is truth, putting their life on the line, especially in these times. And you brothers and you very few sisters believe in this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely. Shalom to the whole four elect. All right. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, pray this lesson is edifying. And what led me to do this video, actually I was shared this video from the beloved brother from GMS Boston, the Wad. Shared this with me, and I just watched it and did a few research behind it as well, and just seeing that, you know, the atrocities, just some of the atrocities and wickedness that this wicked man Esau Edom did to our people. And this is predominantly talking about Judah. This little thing you see right here, you can check it out for yourself. Predominantly talking about Judah, and Lord willing, I can, you know, go into more what he did with the whole southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, and get more and build up his and put the and make him bear and through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and put out that evidence against him, you know. Because see, this man, he's going down, man. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we're making it known all who he is, you know, all the crimes, well, not all, because there's crimes that we not even privy to, but the crimes that he committed. And you see the title says reparation, who owes us and why, the complete series. And he discussed at the end that, you know, cut the check. And he brought us out all this information and how, you know, how these people, or how we built this country, you know, the slaves that was here, you know, predominantly, like I said, Judah, you know, built Judah, but also everywhere else, because we know that's what he's talking about. But we know that it started with the so-called Native Americans, with Gad and Reuben being here, you know, and they came here and built them, helped be a part of that as well. So, but we just gonna go based on what we got from this, and I'm gonna bring out a few articles, and I'll again pray that's scriptures ultimately to back up that this man is gonna get what's coming to him. All right. So yeah, just go check that out. But let me go with one of the articles. You know, he brought it up, but I'm gonna bring out an article about it. And some of the atrocities that this man did, how he built riches. He got rich off free labor, man. You know, off the backs of the slaves that was here, that was brought here, and cargo ships, man, and slave ships, man. That was actually, you know, funded by the small hats, man. And these people came here and they got wealthy off the backs of Jake, man. Period. They got wealthy off the backs of Jake. All kingdoms, man. And ultimately, it was the Lord using this man as a whipping stick. But ultimately, he afforded the affliction. He went too far. You know how they say, you're gone too far, and the Lord's gonna punish this man. All right. And it's gonna be a righteous thing. We're gonna bring out those scriptures. All right. So slave mortgages. You know, human collateral provided much of the capital for slaveholders to purchase more land and more slaves. So they used the human as collateral to get loans out for more land, more slaves. All right. This, in addition, is to enslave people's free labor, created much of the 18th century wealth that U.S. growth and development depended upon. Edward Baptist elucidates how slavery drove capitalism in his book, The Half Has Never Been Told: Slavery and Making of American Capitalism. You see? The way America can able to floss and boast about the things they have now was off the back of Jake, man. All right? And I'm just going to skip down. Slaveholders securitized their enslaved property in two ways. They took out mortgages on the purchase price of a slave, by putting a percentage down and paying off the purchase price over time. This allowed them to get the slave and start extracting their labor before they finish paying for him or her. And the image below, right? So we're going to jump down. The second way is the slaveholders use their enslaved property to get loans. Those loans, as I mentioned above, were used to finance and grow their slave-holding enterprises. In fact, in many cases, the slaveholder took out multiple loans using the same enslaved people as collateral. All of this means that the very bodies of enslaved families solidified their own enslavement. These instruments had disastrous results for enslaved people. If the slaveholder defaulted on that debt, the result would be the sale of those people. And this broke up numerous homes. I read a matter of fact, you go down, they discuss it, and you can check this out. They discuss homes was being broken up because they'll put slaves up for collateral, and then if that man or that slave owner defaulted on that loan, then the bank will own the slave, and then those slaves will be part of the they'll be a part of another man's plantation, man. It's just crazy, man. Jake was used to do so many things in this country, man, and that's why there's so much bloodshed that was shed from these people, man. And that's why they're gonna have to be cleansed with the blood. I'll get that scripture eventually as well. But they're gonna have to get put to death, man. All right. So this is one of their crimes, against Jake. Then you also have the African American workers. They discussed this in that video as well, but I even got an article about it. Okay, the building of America's railroads involved African Americans, many working as slaves. Virtually every railroad built in the pre-emancipation era South was built using slave labor. During the Civil War, 1861 through 1865, the U.S. military railroads, USMRR, employed thousands of freemen and contraband slaves, as seen here. Besides those who worked on the transcontinental railroads, tens of thousands of African Americans worked in the railroad industry thereafter. Railroad and mining employment, unlike sharecropping and domestic service, offered a more economically independent life for African Americans. African American railroad workers helped build the nation we know today. You see, the back, and they say slaves, servants. It wasn't economical, better than being a sharecropper. Matter of fact, yep. Like sharecropping and domestic service, right? But bottom line, man, these people got to pay. Just like you had, feeding our babies the alligator bait. You had the devil's punch bowl. You had so many atrocities these men committed that, the Lord is going to destroy them for, man. And that's just talking to the transatlantic slave trade. That's just talking about that, man. There's so much more he did to the Northern Kingdom. All right, and like I said, out of one Ratazar, the Lord willing, I can bring up some of those atrocities as well. All right, we can do a little video on that, do an epistle on that as well, and bring up some of those atrocities that this man committed. Right, and he got blood on his hands, man. He got riches, this ill-gotten gain, riches by deceit. All right, so let's go into some, I'll mention a few things here. And also they discuss on how these universities, your favorite, especially your Ivy League schools, they invested in slavery. They was built on the backs of black people, man. Harvard University here in Cambridge, Mass. They had most of their slaves even living on campus, man. That's how it was, man. Even when you think of Wall Street, how Wall Street was, created, man. How people believe that the South was only big in slavery, that the New York New York City was the second largest city at a point that had the most slaves, man. I mean, these people did it all, man. They done broke the backs of Jake, man. And even to the point where they even did atrocities like butt breaking, right? See, these people have to get destroyed, man. See, just because, matter of fact, man, let's just get some scriptures, because so many scriptures come to my mind. But let's just start at James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, you see? Corrupted. They raped, robbed, and murdered, and pillaged the land. They took that something that wasn't theirs. And it was all, because the Native Americans so-called Native Americans, Gad and Reuben was here first, man. The northern kingdoms was here first, man. All right? The northern kingdom, the northern tribes. All right? Your gold and silver is cankered. It's like your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and rust of them shall be a witness against you. All right? Because all the all the crimes that you committed to gain these riches, they're going to be the very thing you're going to get, you're going to get destroyed for. Them things is not going to be able to save you. All right? Shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it is with fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hires of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. You see, Lord of hosts, man. And man, see, the Lord is going to destroy you, man. Especially the abominations that was done, like the ones that sigh and cry for the nation of Israel. See, that's why the whole nation of Israel will be saved. There's going to be ones that's going to have to get purged out. But see, ultimately, all the crimes you committed to the nation of Israel, you touching the apple of the Lord's eye, the Lord is going to put you down for that, man. And just because a sentence is not executed speedily, don't think you're going to get away with it, man. All right? I can go on, but I'm gonna go right here because I mentioned it. Revelation. Was it 20? Was it 18:4? 18:5. Revelation 18:5. For her sins, so Babylon, right? For her sins have reached unto heaven. So that's Babylon, which today is America, that great city, right? For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai have remembered her iniquities. So he's not going to forget all the atrocities you committed, the ones that we don't even know, the ones that we don't have no idea of. Everything the Lord's eyes is 10,000 brighter than the sun, man. His eyes is all over the sinful kingdom, man. Right? Via the angels, man. And the Lord, see, a day to man, a thousand years is a thousand years is only a day to the Lord. So would you think you've been doing it for a little season, right? But see, the Lord is going to punish you for it, man. All right, for all the atrocities that you committed, and even all the other nations as well. But we talking about right now Esau, Edom, man. Because everybody had a hand in putting Jake down. All right, let me go right here. We talking about Esau, Edom right now, man. And he talk about recompense, man. Recompense is putting these people to death. Recompense is putting them back in slavery, man. That's the true recompense. That's the true reparations. Salakia. Right? Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. And this is just a quick one, man, because you can just go on and on all the atrocities this devil committed, man. Proverbs 16:4. No, Salakia. It's 12. Yeah, Proverbs 12:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivered from death. So all your riches not going to profit you nothing in the day of the Lord's wrath, man. It's going to be a witness against you. All right? Esau, Edom, you just don't know, man. The Lord got your days numbered. All right? Your days are numbered. Wait, you can't. Hold up. I think it's 33. They're 14. Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So your days are determined, man. He put you in place just to be that whipping stick. You the sword, you the left hand, right? Just that whipping stick. But until then, you have bounds that you cannot pass, because the Lord he's gonna take you out of your place, man. And he's gonna put you where you rightfully belong, man, which is utterly slavery, and then eventually utterly destroyed. All the wickedness you committed, all the iniquities you committed, man. Right? That's true reparations, man. All right? Let's go ahead. Sirach 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, right? Because your unrighteous dealings, your slave mortgages, right? Injuries, right? Putting people to death, right? Everything you did, right? And riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And that's what we're seeing. We're starting to witness the beginning of that, man. The crumbling of Esau, Edom's kingdom. The curses being upon our enemy, Deuteronomy 30:7. And eventually when Yahweh Shai come and crack that sky, that's going to be one kingdom translated to another. And it's going to be Yahweh Shai's everlasting kingdom. And the nation of Israel being being in their rightful place, which is the top nation, where every other nation is going to be subjected to the nation of Israel. They're going to be in servitude. They're going to be subordinates. They're going to be workers. And Esau going to be the top worker. And he going to eventually be going away with, man, after 1,000 years. Right? Yeah, man. Because this is all going to happen to you, man. Matter of fact, I got another one. Lamentations 4:21. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. You see? This cup that you've been giving us is drinking, that we've been drinking, all the shit you done did to us, it's going to be passed on to you, man. That's reparations. You see? Everything that you did to us, we're going to give it back to you, but it's going to be under the law, right? But everything you did to us, man, we're going to give it back to you double. Verse 22. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. You know, because we're coming to the end of this captivity. Jacob is coming to the end of this captivity. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. All right? O daughter of Zion, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And that's what we're doing. The Lord, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the Lord is putting it in us to he's using us to start pointing the finger at Esau, Edom, and he's being made bare. His sins is being discovered, man. People are starting to know who's the devil that the Bible speak of, man. Everywhere you go, he brings nothing but the sword, because that's his blessing. He brings nothing but death and destruction, and just like you see the what is it called? The economic hitman, right? Everywhere you go, man, he's it's all about sucking the resources and stealing and robbing, stealing identity. He's the biggest identity fraud person. You put somebody in jail for identity fraud, man, you're gonna see what's gonna happen to you for your identity fraud and everything that you've done, man. The Lord ain't playing, man. Matter of fact, let me get that, and then again, I don't want to hold too long. First Thessalonians 1. It's just like Second Thessalonians 1 and 6. Second Thessalonians 1 and 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to recompense tribulations to them that trouble you. See, it's a righteous thing with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to recompense, to pay back the tribulation to them that trouble you. So all the ones that starting with Esau, Edom, man. All the nations that had a hand in it, they're gonna get it too. But starting with Esau, Edom, man. The one who had a perpetual who had a perpetual hatred. Matter of fact, let me get that. Right? I'll just get to the point. Ezekiel 35:5, because thou had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So that's the death, that's the blood. That's you gonna get it on that side, man. Oh, you gave the base, the devil's punch bowl, right? And for you brothers, man, go look into those things, man. Let me see. Another one. I had another precept I want to bring by a king, but yeah, man. But matter of fact, get the old goodie. Might as well get the old goodie, goodie. You know, because this is true reparations, man. Revelations 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity should go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the pace to the faith of the saints, because we still in that captivity. Jake is still in that captivity. The nation of Israel is still in captivity, and in under this man's hands. That's why the scripture says, matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. He that leave in captivity should go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the pace and the faith of the saints. And what I just quoted, right? Because we're still in captivity, man. We're still in this man's hands. Exodus 21:16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. We just told you what happened with these people was doing in the slave mortgages, and that's just some of their atrocities, man. So we're still in your hands, Esau, Edom. So it's your time, and your death is coming to you, man. All right. So you know what? I'll just end it there, man. Shalom to the whole world.